Welcome to Mill River Union High School. Top of the first inning, softball action. Amanda Lee out in the circle for Mill River. As Tony Girardi, the leadoff batter for West Rutland, who's the opponent today, with a single to right field, then took second base on an error. And at the plate right now is Johanna Lee. Sarah Brown doing the catching out there for the Minutemen. It's a nice warm day, humid day, very breezy, and there is the threat of thunder showers in the forecast for later on, so hopefully we'll be able to squeeze this game in. Lee is senior out there in the circle. Now, I've already videotaped the West Rutland game against Twin Valley, and they had some very impressive moments, West Rutland did. But this is a very athletic, very experienced Mill River squad, so this will be a good test for West Side today. As Lee into the windup in the pitch, and there's the bunt, and that'll get the runner to third base. The throw to first, there's the out, and as you can see, Girardi with that good speed. I like the play right there. Got the runner over to third base. Now, last year, these two teams played. And what was a very good ball game. Over in West Rutland, it was a tight ball game until the top of the fifth. And then that was when Mill River exploded for a huge inning, a lot of runs. And Caitlin Riopel is going to be the pitcher in the circle for West Rutland. And she's a freshman. And against Twin Valley in the game that I did, she pitched very well. So, and this has an intriguing air to it today. That pitch just outside. See Brown trying to frame it. Sierra Phelps is over at first base defensively for Mill River. As I'll go around the horn for you and do the defense for the Minutemen. And that bunt will be foul down the third baseline. And I just want to catch back up to where I was. It's Courtney Lee at second base. Michaela Maneri is the shortstop. Taryn Redenis has moved from the outfield to third base. That pitch was high, and a good job of laying off that pitch by Banya. So Banya on the ball will get by on the throw, and that'll allow the game's first run. So on a couple mistakes by Mill River, West Rutland will score a run. So there are two different errors on that sequence with Girardi, and that's what got the 1-0 lead for West Rutland. So Banya at the plate. Got late setting up, obviously, because we missed the first batter, and I haven't transferred my defenses to my paper like I like to do. And sounds like I'm unorganized, but I'm really not. And that'll be a walk as the pitch came to the inside, and Banya will head down to first base. Now the catcher in the cleanup spot will be Amanda Hart. Hart represents good power at the plate. Now West Rutland with a 1-1 record already had been able to get 2 games in. This is Mill River's first game of the year, but they have been able to get outside to practice. That was one thing I found not intriguing, I don't know what the word I want is, but when I talked to the Twin Valley coach last week, their game against West Rutland was the very first time that team had been outside at all. They still had 6 inches of snow on the field. That's going to be a little comebacker to Lee. She'll bobble it, and they're going to call her, I believe they called her out. So that will be a nice, calm play by Lee. She bobbled the ball, took her time, made a strong throw. Banya goes to second base. And I'll bring up Morgan Raish. Now, Raish is a freshman who is going to be a big-time athlete for West Rutland, and she's shown the ability to hit the ball well, and she'll swing through that drop ball, and that'll be strike one. So on the top of the first, scheduled for 7 on a warm, humid, hazy day with threatening skies as far as thunder showers in the very near future. A non-league game between West Rutland, who's at the plate, and Mill River. Oh, and just ate her up with that pitch. So Lee looking to strand a runner, keep the score at 1-0. And a pitch on the way. That's the inning. Yeah, everybody kind of anticlimactic, but that's a strikeout. But it'll be 1-0 West Rutland after a half inning of play on Munger Vision. You thought I was unorganized in the top of the first. I'm completely lost here in the bottom of the first. Is Amanda Lee will face Riopel, and that'll be, I believe, ball 3 because I came on late. She's the leadoff hitter, Lee is. Can tell you that Amanda Hart doing the catching now. Riopel had good control in the first 2 games of the year. The first game of the year was a 2 balls, 1 strike, was what the umpire just said. Riopel with a 4-3 win over Proctor in game number 1, and then took the 7-3 loss, and that's going to be a base hit being picked up, and Lee will stay at first base. Believe me, it's got to get better as far as my end of the deal, as far as the camera work and all that stuff. So Lee able to find just enough of a hole to push the ball through, and now Casey Dambrakis, the senior center fielder, up. So Riopel there with a strike. Now she throws a fastball, a curveball, and a circle change. And again, like I said, she's only a freshman. She had told me, because I asked her after the Twin Valley game, who she'd been working with to teach her the pitching. And then she said her father got her into the pitching and taught her, and then she's been to a couple of the camps and clinics for softball pitching, fastball, softball pitching. That's going to be popped up, and Hart with a good effort. The ball will pop free when she hits the ground, and I tell you, you can't put in much better effort than that. One change here at Mill River, to me is very noticeable, is that the outfield fence has been moved into 200 feet from 225. So maybe some of the balls will be flying out of the park today. That's going to be in the gap, and that's going to be trouble. Yeah. And Lee looks, and Lee's going to take third base, and they're going to hold her up there. So that'll be a double for Dambrakis. She was able to go to the opposite field, and so a single and a double, and now Michaela Maneri, the shortstop up there for Mill River. Yeah, and I'll slide over in a little bit so I get my spot here. That's a strike called. So Riopel trying to settle down here in the bottom of the first. You're watching Munger Vision. I'm almost embarrassed to say that because of my lack of getting my act together here in the first inning. That's off the fist and fouled. So really all I need to do to complete my cycle of inefficiencies, might as well get soaking wet and get poured on now to complete my day. Oh, I had a brutal day. Actually, I had a bad night. It started out, I had an awful night. There's a swing and a miss. And Maneri will go down, and I'll be the first out, and it's a strikeout. She went down swinging. Now bring up Courtney Lee, the younger of the two Lee girls. And two runners in scoring position. West Rutland up by a 1-0 score. No, I had a bad night. Probably slept 45 minutes out of the whole night. Got up at 4 o'clock. Took care of my pets. Got my breakfast. Went to work. Had a crappy, horrendous day for work. Even for a remedial laborer like myself, it was a bad day. And then I got here and everything just continued to go downhill. Hopefully it'll be a really good ball game. All right, I've complained enough. Here we go. One down, first and second, and Riopel trying to settle into a groove here. It's freshman against freshman right now. Got Lee to go outside on that curveball, and back-to-back strikeouts. And now bring up Sarah Brown, the catcher. Sarah Brown is a tough out, and not only does she make contact, but she's got good wheels. She can get down that baseline. So right now, Riopel trying to play a Houdini here and disappear and leave two runners stranded, not allow a run to come in. This would be a big momentum builder for the young pitcher for West Rutland. Now, I did her physical pitching the other week, impressed me, but her mental aspect of the game, very controlled. That's on the infield, and that's going to be caught, and they will strand two as West Rutland will get out of that jam, and it'll stay 1-0 West Side at the end of 1 inning play. All right, I did it again. You missed the first batter at the top of the second. It was Christina Harrington, and she popped out to the second baseman, Lee. There are two Lees out there. There's three Lees, actually. Coach Mike Lee, his older daughter, Amanda Lee's in the circle pitching. And his younger daughter today, who can play anywhere on the field, is the second baseman. So in a 1-0 game at the top of the second, hopefully scheduled for 7, meaning that the weather will cooperate. And Lee looking to find her control here early, the pitcher. That is spanked down the first baseline, foul. Okay, I've got my defenses transferred. Of course, I have nothing to set it on because I forgot the chair. For Mill River, Amanda Lee's in the circle. Sarah Brown's the catcher. Sierra Phelps is at first base. Courtney Lee's at second base. Michaela Maneri's at short. Taryn Redenis is at third. Stephanie Collins is in left. Casey Dambrakis is in center. And Haley Katrupi is the right fielder. By God, I actually got the defense in. So the pitch coming, and good job. That was the changeup. Now, the changeup was something that had worried Coach Paul Dunches, who's the head coach for West Rutland. That was also a walk. And that was Haley Dow, who I didn't mention. So Haley Dow down to first base. Now bring up Sam Lax. Sam Lax, a freshman. Of course, Sam Lax is coming off the winter season, playing varsity basketball. Will swing through the fastball for strike one. But talking to Coach Dunches last week about this upcoming game, he said Amanda Lee's the first and one of the most legitimate pitchers. Foul tip, the runner cannot advance. The second, strike two. She has a legitimate changeup, a very dangerous changeup. She spots it well, and that's what he's got his team worried for, because she throws extremely hard, and so you're always kind of cheating forward, waiting for the swing, and then when she throws the changeup, that time it's just a rise ball, and Lax will go down swinging. That'll be out number two and strikeout number two. And now the pitcher Riopel up. So Kaylin Riopel down in the number 9 spot with a runner at first base. 1-0 West Rutland picking up that unearned run in the top of the first. And that'll be way outside on a wild pitch, and Dow will stay up at second base. So on the wild pitch, she will take second base. Now, technically they say on the big TV screens, now she's in scoring position. To me, you're in scoring position everywhere you are. Because if somebody hits a triple and you're at first base, you're going to score. So, and that's going to give you a play at third base, and she's gone, and that's the inning. So that time, a much better job by Mill River. They'll trail 1-0 going in the bottom of the second on Munger Vision. I made it to the first batter, finally. Haley Katrupi up. We'll take one down the pipe for strike one. It'll be Collins and Redenis to follow. Now, Katrupi, of course, had a great soccer season. One of the things I thought was cool about Katrupi, and only for this pitch. Well, that's got a chance to center field. Girardi will make the grab. And again, it is a very windy day, and she made the adjustment nicely to the wind. So they'll get the leadoff batter out on a fly out to center field. Now Stephanie Collins up for Mill River. Mill River had runners at second and third in the first inning, and Riopel able to pitch herself out of trouble with a couple strikeouts and then a pop up to the catcher in fair territory. But during the Mill River soccer season, I noticed a little baby puppy black lab on the sideline all the time, and she would zoom in on it, and when the action was down, come find out that was Haley Katrupi's dog. And I recently saw that dog at the dog at the pet store, Petco. I was in there with my puppy, my dog, and that little black lab that was so tiny is 73 pounds now, big, as tall as I am, and his name's Kane. But man, to see him from October and even November at the soccer season to now, is that guy done some growing. And he was pulling old Haley right around the store pretty good on his leash there. So with one down and nobody on, it's a good eye there by Collins. Redenis on deck. Remember, she had played the outfield the last couple seasons. They've shifted her over to third base and came here for practice on a Saturday, this past Saturday. Oh, nice pitch. And she looked good over there at third base. Got a very strong arm, and over the top thrower. And I think she's going to fit in nicely at third base. A couple players not available for Coach Lee. They're on school trips to France. And that will be Hart finding it and making the catch. Nice job locating the ball by Hart. So that'll be out number 2, and that's the second put out for the catcher. And now Redenis up. Excellent power Redenis has. And she'll try to get something started here with 2 down as Riopel, the green number 10, green jersey number 10 in the foreground. That's the freshman pitcher for West Rutland. She has a very compact motion. Of course, she's a very compact person. Like I said, she probably, if I had to guess, 5 pounds. I really don't know. I'm not good at that kind of thing, but very small, petite person. But she's got a nice compact motion. Probably throws in the 40s. That makes it a 1-1 count. So we're in the bottom of the second, scheduled for 7. Mill River's first game of the year. West Rutland's third. That's a big advantage. They've already played that many games. So 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch low, caught the plate, but low. I'll have to wait because I have it as Amber Hannon, the DP, on deck. Same pitch, but induces a swing this time. And Dennis went down and just didn't catch up to it, and it'll be a strike. So Riopel with 2 strikeouts in the ball game, looking to end the inning here with her 3rd strikeout. Came inside and hit Redenis. So that will be a 2-out base runner. She was hit by a pitch. That's the first batter for either side that's been hit by a pitch. And now Amber Hannon, who's very known for her soccer ability, very new to softball. She, until last season when she tried out, she had never played softball before. And Coach Lee telling me how what a very coachable, smart young lady she is. And actually, I don't know what branch of the service, but she's going into the military after this year. And I can see that type of dedication in her. And that'll be off from the glove of Hart, and it's going to allow the runner to go to second base. And Redenis will stay up and stay alert and be ready in case she could have taken a turn there. Top of the order on deck in Amanda Lee. Like I said, last year the contest between these two schools was very tight, very close going into the 5th inning. And then Mill River had a big inning and broke it open. And Riopel that time a little bit high, possibly outside with that pitch. The wind blowing from 3rd to 1st. You can see the dirt kick up right there. It is a strong gusting wind, that is for sure. And I think I've actually got settled in here finally. And that is a strike called. I better do it real quick for you, but Amanda Hart's the catcher. Morgan Raish is at first. Christina Harrington's at second. Johanna Lee is the shortstop. Caitlin Bania is at third. Lax, Girardi, and Dow the outfield. And that's a big swing on that curveball and a miss. And that's going to make it 2 strikes now on Amber Hannon. And Sierra Phelps, the first baseman, is the flex player today. So I don't believe she is. Well, I know she's not batting. That'll skip it. Was that a dead ball? Yeah, it hit her. So it hit in the dirt and came up and hit Hannon, and that's the last thing that they really wanted. They bring her on the top of the order with 2 runners on, and that's just what happened. So Lee, who had a single back in the 1st and got stranded at first base, can tie the ball game up or even do more damage with a hit here. Lee, a very good hitter, just all around good athlete. Great pitch. Oh, man, she's looking in too. I'm looking in. I'm not sure where that missed, but they call it a ball. So again, Mill River threatening for the 2nd inning in a row. And that time, Riopel overcompensating, put a little extra pop on the ball, brought it up high, and it'll be ball 2. 2-0 the count with Dan Brackus on deck. And that could be trouble. And that is going to be trouble. A drop in front of Lax. They'll throw home, and we're going to tie ball game. That almost looked, and I'm not criticizing, like it was playable, except I'm not sure Lax could locate the ball. So the game tied at 1. I'm looking at it. That is Hannon at third base. Lee at first with an RBI single. And Dambracus up, who had a double her only time up, which was her last time up, so it would have been a correct statement. And yeah, they're going to break home. They're coming home, and she'll be safe. So Mill River taking advantage of some miscues by West Rutland. We'll take the lead, 2-1. And Lee, of course, very alertly went down to second base on the play. So things were looking good here for Riopel as she had the first 2 batters retired on 2 pop-ups. And then hit back-to-back batters with pitches. And now she's trying to find that elusive 3rd out. That'll be out of play for a strike down the first baseline. A lot of people, they just don't associate me with it, but I've been doing this videotaping free for the community television station since '95. I absolutely love, seriously, I love softball, fast pitch softball. There goes Lee, there goes the throw, and she's going to be safe. Yeah, she came in under the tag. The throw was high. Bainey applied the tag, but by that time, Lee had slid in underneath it. I like that because it puts pressure now on pitcher-catcher not to have a wild pitcher pass ball and give Lee a chance to come home without the aid of a hit. But a lot of people remember in the very early stages of my career, just Rutland softball. That's going to be tough. They got to go to first, and they'll get her, but Mill River will take the lead as Bainey will throw to Raish for the 5-3 out. But it's going to be West Rutland trailing 2-1 now as we go into the top of the third. Another start to the inning as we're in third, and this is going to be Riopel back up. Remember, she was at the plate when Dow was thrown out trying to go to third base. Oh, she got to learn to take those. Let him hit her so she gets the base. But I started to say people at first just associated me with just Rutland softball back when they weren't so corrupt and allowed me to do their softball before the dictatorships took over up there. So I did. I went through, and Lee came out limping between the warm-ups, and right there holding her. I lost track. That was her right or left leg, like a hip flexor, and she'll miss inside there. She just doesn't look comfortable. See that slight limp she's got going, like a John Wayne limp. But yeah, I mean, I was there for the 4 years of Hendy, and when they Rutland went to the championship game 2 years in a row, there's a walk, and it'll send Riopel down to first base. So the leadoff batter on top of the order up, Girardi. She had a single. Then a couple errors later, she scored West Rutland's only run. And I believe we're going to have a courtesy runner. I just got to see what number the young lady's wearing. I don't have a 17. I'll have to see if it's actually, I can't really see if it's a 7 or 17 with my old eyeballs. If it's 7, it's Michaela Dambrakis, who is Casey Dambrakis' sister, who plays on the opposite team. Strike right there. No, it's 17. Well, that sucks. I don't have a 17 on my roster. So Girardi, followed by Johanna Lee. Oh, she had a good rip at that one. But yeah, I also covered MSJ softball back when they had some good teams, like when the Bro girl was pitching and MSJ went to the semifinals, hosted the semifinals that year. And then when Jeff Johnson took over with the McCarthy kid and all that whole gang, and they made some real big noise in the playoffs. I covered them. And then, of course, came down to Mill River when both. Well, that's going to be a little dinker down to third. Going to be picked up, the throw by Redenis, and it's going to be safe. And they're going to hold up, the runners at third. So it's going to be bases at, I've lost track. It was like second and third. Girardi with that good speed ends up at second base. And the courtesy runner for Riopel ends up at third. And now Johanna Lee up. She laid down a sacrifice bunt. They got the runner over to second base. And she looks like she's going to bunt right now. Lee into the windup, and Redenis going to pick it up, throw to. Thought she got her in a rundown, and she's going to be there under the tag. Boy, I could hear Coach Dunches orchestrating that. And I believe that is Dambrakis, Michaela Dambrakis over there at third base, and she stayed alive, didn't get tagged out, and was able to get enough time bot so that Lee could go down to first base. And I'll bring up Bainey now. So Bainey walked her first time up as Lee in a little bit of a jam right now in the top of the third. Well, we're up 2-1, and there's nobody down, and the base is loaded. So this could be a momentum breaker for either side, or maker for both sides right now. If West Rutland doesn't score, that's momentum for Mill River. And if West Rutland can get a bunch of runs here, that's momentum maker for them. But yeah, no, I covered all that, and I went out and I covered at Polteny. I covered Otter Valley with Taryn Foster's gang that went to the championship that year. That's a foul ball. I went out for Angela McGaw, Fairhaven, when that group won their 3rd state title. But I came down here to Mill River when Becky Marslack-Kelly pitched, and then Molly Marslack-Kelly pitched, and then Betsy Waite pitched, and then Foster had her 4 years here. And there actually might have been a pitcher in between there. I've been here when Shirley Brusso coached, Jojo Valenti coached, Shirley Brusso came back, Gary McDonald took over, now Mike Lee. So you don't think, when you start thinking about it, great pitch, gets a big out on Bania. She'll go down swinging for out number 1. And Amanda Hart up, she grounded out to the pitcher Lee. So the double play in order to end the inning. That'd be a big blow to West Rutland. I used to cover the All-Star Summer Tournaments, the Summer Leagues, when Proctor's Susanna Rayon, outstanding pitcher. My God, I didn't have gray hair back then. That's how long ago that was. But you start going through and nobody, and I mean nobody, I don't care how many freaking Sportscasters of the Year you've won. That's a great shot. That's going to clear the bases. Girardi's going to come in to score on a gapper. Lee being waved around. And Lee will score, and there is Hart, who pulled that into the left center field gap. As the courtesy runner, I believe it was Dambrackas came in, Girardi came in, and Lee came in, and that will put Hart at second. That's 3 RBIs. That makes it a 4-2 ball game. And that'll bring up Morgan Raish, who took strike 3 looking her first time up. So the freshman with a runner in scoring position right there. But nobody has brought you softball coverage like Mr. Munger at Munger Vision has. And I've even done the smaller age groups, the rec league groups. I've done college softball at Green Mountain College. I am tooting my own horn. I am patting my own back. So if it sounds like that, I am. Because this is my final season of doing softball for anybody. And you'll never, there's another base hit. And that's going to be picked up by Collins. And she'll get the throw in before the run can come around. Hart, who's average speed at best. But this is funny, though. Not funny if you're a Mill River fan. Against Proctor, with Taylor Trombley pitching, West Rutland hit the ball well. She throws the ball very fast, the pitcher for Proctor does. And then the Twin Valley girl was a tweener. She didn't really throw hard. She didn't really throw soft. And there's the, there's the play where they throw to the cutoff person because they sent Raish from first to second. They conceded the base. They tried to get they threw the ball to Maneri at short. Tried to get the base runner at third. Hart leading off. So Harrington with a chance to do more damage. Foul ball. So that went foul, and it was picked up by Rodenis. Dick Selo, who used to coach Rutland, coached them to their '82 championship, actually, and who's a pitching coach now, teaches pitching. One summer, he put together an all-star team, and they had all kinds. It was like a AAU tournament of softball instead of basketball. All kinds of teams from all over the place came over and played at different fields. So I covered that, and that was great stuff. I wish they would have done more of that locally. But nobody has brought you better or more exclusive or promoted this sport better than I have. Oh, great pitch. Great pitch. And Harrington will go down for out number 2. So 2 strikeouts lead to 2 outs. There are 3 runs in. That makes it 4-2 West Rutland. The 8th batter to come to the plate is Haley Dow. She walked her only time up. Oh, but what Coach Dunches told me was when his team played Twin Valley, they had a lot of trouble hitting the ball because they don't hit the medium speed, the slow speed pitchers worth beans. But pitchers who can whip it in there like Lee and like the Proctor pitcher, for some reason they hit better. Well, you're seeing that today. You're seeing them hit the ball a lot better today. You can see Brown frame the pitch, but not get the call. So already in the 3rd on this humid, sunny May day, or actually it's April day. Oh, great pitch. Painted the outside corner. Lee has the ability to rack up the strikeouts and dominate a game. She just hasn't found a rhythm yet. Early season action. That'll miss low, and that was a good eye on a close pitch by Dow. Sam Lax on deck for West Rutland. 4-2 West Side in the top of the third. Hopefully going to go 7. That was an easy one to lay off from. Runners at second and third, Raish and Hart. And a good stop by Brown. Now it'll go off from her shin guard, and coming home to score will be Hart. That was ball 4 to begin with, but Hart able to attempt and did score. Raish goes down to third base on the wild pitch, and Dow ends up on the walk at first base. Now the 9th batter is Sam Lax. So a 4-run third is giving West Rutland a 5-2 lead. It's just remarkable. Of course, you're talking about young people. How West Rutland was really up and executed well against Proctor, their rival. Then Twin Valley came in, and they were an okay team. They weren't devastatingly spectacular that day, but they really... The difference in that game was 3 errors by West Rutland. Other than that, it was a 7-3 ball game, Twin Valley with the win, but now today, and it's so early in this contest, the wheels can fall off at any point for any team, but West Rutland looking a lot sharper, a lot more intense, a lot more in focus this ball game. And that'll miss high. One thing West Rutland is doing very nicely here is they're making Lee throw pitches. They're not chasing borderline pitches. They're not swinging out pitches out of the strike zone. They're making Lee throw the ball at strikes, 4 strikes. That's a great pitch. And it's at the inning. She thinks it is. And Slacks will go down. That's the inning. Big inning, though, for West Rutland. As I said, they picked up 4 runs. They'll have a 5-2 lead over Mill River going into the bottom of the third on Munger Vision. B, Michaela Maneri up. She struck out her first time up. Struck out swinging her first time up. As Kaylin Riopel, the freshman in the circle for West Rutland. Getting caught at the plate, but low. Not getting a low strike to either pitcher. Again, good to see Mike Lee back in action as head coach. Had that awful illness last year. That's going to be out of play. That'll even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Tim Maneri, who's going to be followed by Courtney Lee, and then Sarah Brown due up. Both runs coming in the second inning for Mill River. 2 strikeouts, both coming in the first inning for Riopel. Yeah, I like this angle better. I did the West Rutland game against Twin Valley from behind the backstop, which I usually like, but they have the chain link fence up. And Bania to first, there's the out. So the 5-3 ground out will retire the first batter of the inning. But they didn't have the fencing up at West Rutland. That's why I had to shoot from behind the... See, now they got the fencing up here at Mill River. And I've just gotten used to shooting here. I mean, the best spot I had was the perch I built behind home base at Rutland High School and the perch I built behind home base at MSJ. That was just a perfect bunt, an absolutely perfect bunt. And I was about to say, neither coach really big into small ball today, but that was well done. And Courtney Lee with an excellent bunt for a base hit. Now Sarah Brown up. Lee with good speed, 2 down there at first base. The younger Lee, Courtney Lee. I said Mike was ill last year, and will that be caught? It's going to be in foul territory and foul, yeah. He did get some action in the dugout late last year, but able to, he's actually moving around a lot better than I thought he was going to. I think it's called streptococcus. I'm not sure. He had a strep infection in his leg, a flesh-eating virus. Yeah, nasty stuff. Kind of thing you see on, like, Dr. House. There's the bunt. There's the play by Bania. They'll get the out, and the runner will go down to second base. Brown getting tagged on the head to boot when she ran by. That's more bunting right now than I had seen all last year from Mill River. Katrupi up. She popped up to Girardi in center field. That was her only at-bat, so she's 0 for 1 today. I've just gotten used now, though, since I don't have places. Oh, that could be trouble. Yeah, I could tell that was trouble. 1 run coming in for Mill Rivers. Katrupi will actually got the ball up in the breeze. Lee scored easily to cut the deficit to 5-3. Kachupi with an RBI double, and now Stephanie Collins up. She popped up to the catcher Amanda Hart in fair territory. And she's been hit, third batter hit by a pitch today, and that will bring up Taryn Rodenis. Now she was hit by a pitch and scored a run eventually back in the second inning. I noticed Rhea Pelt, she doesn't throw a screwball, but when she turns her wrist over on her fastball, she gets screwball action off it. And Rodenis flinching but not committing, and that'll be ball one. 5-3, West Rutland with the lead here in the third over Mill River. Do I think it'd be an upset if West Rutland were to hold on and win? I think it'd be a huge upset, to be quite honest with you. Oh, Hart made her second. Big grab right at the fence. And that is the out now in the inning. But 5-3, West Rutland would lead as we go into the fourth inning on Munger Vision. That was not the best camera work on that pop-up foul ball catch by Amanda Hart, the catcher. You did see it in the background on the shot, but I honestly thought it was out of play, and I didn't follow it as closely as I should have. But it's been a great play tracking the ball. This is Rhea Pell up. She walked her only time up, had a courtesy runner come in who eventually scored. I think it was Dan Brackus who was the courtesy runner. And now I could be wrong on that, but I'm going to go with that. It would not be the first time nor the last time that I was incorrect. So Lee with 5 strikeouts so far in the ballgame. Oh, that was beautiful. Did you see the movement on that pitch? Looked like it was going to come too far inside. It actually hit the batter, and then it broke back over the plate in the last 3 or 4 feet. Now, that's a big thing I haven't talked about yet. That's a huge change. There's a strikeout number 6. The pitching circle has been moved back to 43 feet from 40 this year. So, yeah, you talk about major changes. That's a major change. Girardi up now. She scored twice today. She singled and reached on a fielder's choice unofficially. Johanna Lee on deck. So Girardi, the center fielder, looking to be a catalyst here and get this inning underway offensively. And that's going to be foul out of play. Girardi, a senior, didn't play basketball this year. I don't know why, but I was surprised to see that. And she presents a very small strike zone. When she ducks down like that, it gets even smaller, and Lee missed high. Lee, even though she's got the 6 strikeouts, has given you the impression that she's just not comfortable today. That's going to be a pop fly, and Collins with the catch. Nice job fighting that wind. Like I said, it's a pretty strong, gusting wind today. Now Johanna Lee up. She's had a sacrifice bunt and reached on a fielder's choice and scored herself. And don't forget, my stats, my book are always unofficial. But that's the way I've had it marked down to this point. As the wind really kicking up now. They said severe thunder showers are in the forecast, and Steve Caparizzo, my man from Albany, he's saying about 6 o'clock it's going to wallop our area. And that's just about getting either into the late innings here, or the game could be over, close to being over at that point. And that will be outside. Lee had that rise ball for the swinging strike, and then came back with that pitch there. Phelps is at first still defensively. Rodenis at third, Maneri at short. The younger Lee is the second baseman. Brown the catcher. And that's a good eye there. She laid out that pitch. It comes to the inside, and Lee will take that for another ball as Dan Brackus, Kachupi, and Collins, the outfield for Mill River. And a good eye by Lee. Pitch that caught the plate but low, and that'll be a base runner on with 2 down here. So Lee with the 6 strikeouts and unofficially 3 walks in the ball game. Bania up now. She struck out back in the third and walked in the first. So she's officially 0 for 1 today on this sunny April day. And the runner will scamper down, and Lee will be safe at second base. So putting yourself in scoring position with 2 down. And Hart on deck for West Rutland. Bania playing third base today, getting the start for Coach Paul Dunches. As I try to locate it, it's going to be at second base, and that will end the threat, and we'll say 5-3. West Rutland leads. We go into the bottom of the fourth. Amber Hannon, then the top of the order, with Lee and Dambrakis up for Mill River, down by just a couple. Again, this is their first ball game of the year. West Rutland coming in at 1-1. And in Central Vermont, I always thought we were Central Vermont more than Southern Vermont. They call Barry Montpelier Central Vermont. I don't think that is, but that's a shot. Lax going back, circling around and trying to catch it barehanded, and was it in fair territory? Foul ball. That's what I thought. Whoops. That's the sky you saw. So Hannon will go back. Yeah, she was at second base. Now, if Lax uses her glove, she will make the catch. She used her bare hand, and she's trying not to show pain right now, but that hurts to catch a fly ball without a glove or to get hit in the hand. So Hannon, who really turned on that pitch and pulled it, and that'll be outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bania remains at third base defensively. Lee at shortstop. Harrington at second. And Raish at first. I'm looking at Girardi in center field right in front of me. Dow is in right. And Lax, who's got to use her glove next time, is in left. Hart is your catcher. And Riopel is the pitcher, and that's a walk. So the very speedy, very dangerous Hannon down at first base now. Amanda Lee up. She's got 2 singles and a stolen base today, so not a good start for this inning for West Rutland as they get a base runner on in front of Lee with nobody down. They bring Bania in at the corner. That's a dangerous play. As they threw the ball over to first, and I was lazy, didn't see it, and went out from the edge of Raish's glove, stayed in play, and no damage was done. So actually a lot of stuff happened, but really nothing happened on that play. I have more West Rutland and Mill River softball action on my schedule coming up, and I couldn't tell you the dates, but I have a couple Otter Valley games also on my schedule coming up. Now, the weather looks good for Wednesday. Now, I know I'm tape delayed, but Green Mountain High School playing Mill River here Wednesday because I have no cover for my equipment. I have nothing over my head. So the weather's good. I will be here, and you'll see Mill River, Green Mountain at a later date. There goes the runner. There goes the throw, and she's going to be safe as Hannon, almost unstoppable with that speed she has, will be at second base with nobody down. Yeah, Riopel just got to concentrate on the batter right now. Bania back up now, even with the bag, and that pitch came in high for a ball. I interviewed Coach Lee for my show Sports Beat, and that's airing right now, actually. Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, Thursday nights at 9, and also on the internet. As Lee went down on a big swing and a miss. That's 3 strikeouts now for the freshman Riopel. And Dambrakis up. She's had a double and a 5-3 ground out. She's grounded out to third base to Bania. That's back to Riopel. The only mistake she made there is she didn't look the runner back to third. So second. I mean, she totally was oblivious to the runner. Which is fine because she got the ground out for the second out, which means that she just takes care of Maneri. The runner at third's irrelevant. And so Maneri 0 for 2. And that's the other thing you got to be careful of is a pass ball or wild pitch right here with a runner down at third. 2 down, runner at third, 5-3 West Rutland. Mill River at the plate. You're watching Munger Vision, of course. The real sports leader in local sports coverage. And they did. Oh, Hart will throw. Hart's got the green light. She'll throw the ball to any base in any count. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you get burned by it. So Maneri looking to drive in a run here. And Hart short hopped it like a shortstop, and that's Girardi in the foreground on my shot. And I really hate to move the camera because she's been basically out of my way. That's going to be high for ball 4. So that will put runners at the corners. Now I would hope that Mill River would send the runner Maneri down to steal second, see if they can draw the throw. If they don't throw down to get her, then at least you have a runner at second and third. This is Courtney Lee, the younger Lee. And they're playing him to pull the ball because they've got Girardi shading towards second. Now that's back, Girardi tracking it, and yep, Girardi, they had her in bad position. They were playing them to pull the ball as the 4th run will score. That's Maneri coming in from behind. So actually 2 runs came in, right? Yeah. As Amber Hannon came in with the 4th run, and Maneri came in with the 5th run. So we're tied at 5. Lee stands at second base with 2 RBIs on that double. But now I want to show you where Girardi is. Now she's shading to the first base side of center field, where she should have been. They were playing these last 2 batters. When she was in the view of my camera, she was on the third base side. Oh, nice play by Riopel. The throw from her knees. The inning's over. We're tied at 5 going into the 5th on Munger Vision. Change for Mill River in left field now is Madison Cornell, number 22. She'll replace Collins, Stephanie Collins. Amanda Hart, Morgan Raish, and Christina Harrington due up for West Rutland. As Lee now with a 5-5 ball game, looking to find her rhythm, find her stuff here and bear down. Again with Hart, they're playing her to pull the ball also. As you can see, Dan Brackus, the center fielder, shading toward the third base side of center field. Well, don't forget Hart drove in 3 runs with a double to that left center field gap. So this alignment makes much more sense than what West Rutland was doing with Girardi the last inning. I'm not joking. I know it's where Girardi was because she was in my viewfinder. She's blocking my view. If she's that 7 to 8 feet to her left, she's in position. The ball just went off her glove because she just had to run that hard to get there. But if she's in position for him not to pull the ball, she makes the catch easy. But 5-5, a lot of what ifs, right? Easy to coach from behind the camera. And that will be ball 4. And Lee, who has struggled today with her control, not blatantly bad, no. I said she has 6 strikeouts, but she's got a bunch of walks. Now Raish up. Raish has struck out, looking at strike 3 in the first, and then had a single in the 3rd. And that bender of a pitch out of the reach of Raish, and that'll be a swinging strike. As again, the wind really strong here at Mill River today. That could be 2. There's 1. And safe at first. Little problem by the second baseman, Lee, to get the ball out of her glove cleanly, and I'm not really sure if she did, that they still would have got her. So that's a 6-4 force out. And Raish will reach on a fielder's choice. So now I'll bring up Christina Harrington, who's 0 for 2 today. She popped up to Courtney Lee at second, and it's a foul ball, and has also struck out. Haley Dow on deck. Dow coming up has walked twice. Yeah, and I got to tell you, West Rutland's got to be thrilled in a 5-5 game in the 5th inning. They played much tighter today than against Twin Valley, and that's going to be a foul ball. Now, they had moments where they looked very good against Twin Valley, but they just too many mistakes, too many mental breakdowns, too many physical plays weren't made. Like I said, to me, the difference in that ball game was 2 line drives to right field that were misplayed, and a pop-up that was dropped. That's going to be fouled off. And I'll keep Harrington alive with 2 strikes. As Lee, again, gets down on herself pretty easy and does a lot of chatting to herself, and she's just looked grumpy today in a circle. That's going to be over the glove of Lee and out at second. So Raish, her slide kept it from becoming a double play. As Harrington will be reaching on a fielder's choice at first. So 2 out and a runner at first. And Haley Dow up. Like I said, she's walked twice today. And that called a strike. And Sarah Phelps able to scoop the ball up and keep Harrington at first base. Obviously, she was safe. And the only change I see from Mill River defensively is Madison Cornell. You see how nicely Sarah Brown, the catcher, slides to her left or to her right. She kept that ball in play right there and didn't allow the runner to take the base on the wild pitch. Just off the corner, Lee with a long look in, and the umpire shaking his head no. And again, the interview I had with Coach Mike Lee can be seen on my show, Sports Beat. Oh, she got her to go up and out of the strike zone that time. Chasing that one, so Dow now with a couple strikes on her. Well, it's been a good ball game today on Munger Vision. And she'll work it. And again, Phelps, she missed it because I was slow on the camera. Able to keep the ball in play and run her back safe. And she'll work it for the walk, and that's the second walk of the inning. And I'll push Dow down to second base. And Sam Lax up. She has struck out twice. I know, like I said, I came right out and asked Coach Lee in the interview session why he didn't small ball more. And he said he believes in taking a full swing and taking 2 bases at once. For Dennis, still in the threat. We'll stay tied at 5 going into the bottom of the 5th on Munger Vision. Game I like. Good game. Maria Pell goes into the bottom of the 5th. She's going to be looking at Katrupi, Cornell, and Redenis. 3 strikeouts for the freshman, Maria Pell. And I'm looking at her defense. Banya's at third, Lee at short, Harrington at second, Raish at first. Hart still the catcher. Girardi, Dow, and Lax, the outfield. So no changes yet by Coach Paul Dunches. Both coaches not with their full rosters because of the just out of the reach of Raish, because of the school vacation and school trips, school trips. One player that Mike Lee talking about that's in France right now, of all places, is Kyle Weatherhog, and he said what an outfielder she's going to be when she comes back from her school trip. Now she can chase him down, he says. So Riopel trying to retire the first batter this inning. And that's been the problem. She did it in the second inning with a flyout. Other than that, she's been letting that first runner get on, and that usually comes back to get you. And she'll miss outside. In both her other starts, Riopel has gone the full 7 innings. That's going to be just out of the reach of everybody. Now, I shoot battery power, and batteries are old, and they don't make this model number anymore for my camera. So hopefully I'll have enough juice to go to 7 innings. If they go further than that, we'll have to, keep your fingers crossed. But I've always enjoyed the softball. I do. It's one of that, and that's a check swing, base hit through the hole, cut off by Girardi. He'll hold Katrupi to a single. And there it is, the leadoff batter on base again for Mill River. So Katrupi with a double, a single, and a flyout. She's put the bat on the ball all the 3 times today. And it's Cornell up for the first time, and that's going to be foul and out of play over on the baseball field. No, some of the other sport. I loved. I really enjoyed videotaping field hockey when I was allowed to do it up at Rutland. Nobody did field hockey. Nobody did field hockey like I did. Strike called. When I go up to a field hockey game, they play varsity, JV, and freshman. 3 games in one sitting, one day. I stay around, do all 3 games. And I took a lot of work in learning the rules and the strategies and the terminology. A lot of practice. Like I said, I interviewed a lot of different coaches about it. Of course, then they wouldn't allow me to do it anymore, but I saw nobody else pick up that slack. But as far as liking sports, people, if you give field hockey a chance, I mean, it's a great sport. That's going to allow the runner to get down to second base. So the lead run in Katrupi will be down at second base on that wild pitch. Softball, I've always adored it. I've loved covering fast pitch softball, not like old man underhand pitch, D-League, guys my age playing. Boy, for a minute I could see Cornell starting to crank up there, but she held up and that pitch well out of the strike zone. I don't know if Rhea Pell is feeling a little fatigued. I don't think so. This is her first game of the week she's pitched. Oh, great pitch. Got that inside corner, and Cornell, that's a live ball. It's past the pitcher on the throwback, and that allows Katrupi to take third base. That's a shame that the go-ahead run was at third base on a play like that. So that's 4 strikeouts now for Rhea Pell, and Rodenis up. Rodenis is walked and popped up to the catcher, Hart. Amanda Hart. Off the fist and foul out of the reach of everybody. It's a comfortable day. It's just, it's warm, it's sunny. It's very windy. It's actually, I guess it's got a hint of humidity in the air in April. That's Lax backing up on the ball, making the catch. Lax dancing around, got the feet set, and nice throw back to the infield. She'll hold Katrupi at third base. So again, Rhea Pell trying to pitch herself out of a jam. Remember, she had second and third, nobody out in the first inning, and had back-to-back strikeouts, and then the pop-up to the catcher. And now she's got a runner at third base with 2 down now after a strikeout and a flyout. And Amber Hannon up. She has been hit by a pitch. She has walked. But both times that she's gotten on base, she has scored. So she's been quite a spark plug out there for Mill River. Awful nice young lady to talk to. She went up the ladder that time as Rhea Pell got her to swing at it. Hart got clipped with that was a foul tip. And, oh, those sting, man, yeah. Hart's tough, though. She'll shake it off. True story. She plays basketball for Coach Serrani. She was doing her warm-up drills, and then one of them you have to sit on the floor and do some kind of stretch, and she got sliver off the floor in her buttocks. And this was the whole talk through the whole game, and she played the whole game with a sliver in her buttocks. So I'm sure she can finish playing this game getting nicked with a foul ball in the arm. I think her arm's probably a lot tougher, I don't know. But a big batter to get here with the go-ahead run sitting down at third base. Is it playable? No. It's going to be out of play, and that's 2 strikes on Hannon. So again, the freshman Rhea Pell trying to make some clutch pitches here and get out of a jam in the 5th. 5-5. Enough offense to make it interesting to watch, but not a runaway train. It's like watching an insane asylum. Oh, that was strike 3. And what happened? They're going to throw to first. Now I've got to check. The run should count. And I shall have to ask somebody, as Coach Lee, with a discussion. Fifth strikeout, that will end the inning, and the umpires are going to discuss it, and maybe I can get some clarification on this. And the Lee finishes her warm-ups. Okay, I asked Rob Black, who's the athletic director here at Mill River. Plus, he's a certified, live experienced baseball umpire and softball umpire. And that run did not count because it was a force out of first on a third out. So it stays tied at 5, and this will bring up, I have it as Rhea Pell up, the number 9 batter. And she'll get the ball back to Lee. She's got time, and she'll get the out. So they'll erase Rhea Pell, and now the top of the order coming up. So 1 out here in the 6th for West Rutland on a 1-3 ground out. Tony Girardi up. Now, remember, I told you last year's game in West Rutland was a close ball game like this, and then all of a sudden, I think it was the 5th, could have been the 6th, but I think it was the 5th inning. Mill River just exploded, I want to say for 11 runs, but it was some astronomical number, and they ended up winning the ball game. Girardi singled in the 1st and scored. Had a fielder's choice in the 3rd and scored. And then flied out to left field to Collins. And that pitch called a strike. Getting a lot more softball action coming up for you on Munger Vision. As long as the camera keeps on taping and I feel well enough to do it. And again, my game plan is anybody, Mill River, West Rutland, Otter Valley, make it to the finals. I'd take the trip over to Poultney and videotape that. That'd be a good way to end my softball taping career in the title game. Oh, what a job of staying alive. Okay. Okay, what happened? Yeah, it hit. What happened? The ball was in play and it hit the base runner and they're calling her out. I thought that was going to have to be the call, yeah. The ball hit her when she was in play. And so that will bring up Johanna Lee with the bases clear here. And boy, the clouds moving in fast. It's very good. I know we're tape delayed, but we're getting near that 6 o'clock hour when Steve Caparizzo said those nasty showers are going to be coming on in. We're in the 6-5-5 West Rutland and Mill River in this non-league game matching up, and been a beauty of a ball game. That's back to Lee. Again, fields are positioned well. The flip, the out. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 5 on Munger Vision. For a 5-5 game in the bottom of the 6th, Mill River is right where they want to be, top of the order with Lee, Dambrakis, Maneri, and the younger Lee up. So I know nobody believes in small ball, neither coach. But I'll tell you what, you got the perfect scenario. Tried small ball there, went after it, and that'll be strike 1. Now my low battery's flashing, so hopefully it won't die in the middle of a great play like the winning score or the go-ahead score or something. I've got my spare battery in my pocket, but it takes me, it's about a minute and a half changeover to actually get it all situated back in gear here. It'll be high now, 1-1 count. Now, you're basically in my mind, you can play for 1 run here in the bottom of the 6th. It's only a 7-inning game. Then you got to realize we're West Rutland, and they're at Bania, Hart, and Raish in the order in the 7th. So yeah, I believe if you start with the bunt, you stay with the bunt. And they tried the bunt on the first pitch, and they've taken the bunt off since. That was a full swing strike 2 now. Bania at third base and Raish at first, even with the bag. I know 2 strikes. I still like the bunt. But who the heck am I? Oh, I'll tell you what. Miss Riopel didn't miss strike 3 by an awful lot right there. She will hold up on that high pitch. Looks like a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. What I might do is fade down and go to a battery change after this, after Lee. Oh, she got her. That's why when you start with the bunt, you stay with the bunt. You put themselves in a hole right there. So big strikeout number 6 will retire the top of the order in Lee. Second time Lee has struck out today. Now Casey Dambrakis up. Die, but it held on long enough for Lee. You see Lee striking out. Dambrakis up now. She had a double. She's grounded out twice since. Once to third base, once to the pitcher. Oh, yeah. Well, what this is telling me is that I have the picture might not be coming out right now. I have a dirty head on my tape. Well, that's a gapper. That's a gapper. And Okay, what I'm trying to do is salvage the picture. I have a white X that came up in my viewfinder, which tells me that I have a dirty head tracking head, which usually ruins the picture. But I tried to rectify that, and we'll see if I did. So Dambrakis is at second. This is Maneri at the plate. The go-ahead run is at first. And there's one down. That's going to be caught. Double play. What a job by Lee to Raish, and I hope that came out. Double play. West Rutland coming up in the 7th, tied at 5 with Mill River. So Lee with 7 walks, 6 strikeouts, and that's going to be to Maneri, the first. Got her. Great play. Bang, bang play as they'll get Bainey out in the top of the 7th. Now, in a viewfinder of an old camera, there's all kinds of symbols that come up to tell you what's going on. And boy, I saw that white X, and I knew that was nasty. That wasn't good. That ruins the tape. It's all static and distorted. And I paused it, took it out, blew the tape off, put it back in. Hopefully I saved it. As Hard up today, she's had that. She drove in 3 runs with a double. That was her only hit. She's walked also. So she's been on base a couple times. And that's playable. Redenis got it. 2 down here in the 7th. I'll tell you, win or lose, West Rutland, if they played like this against Twin Valley, executed and had this intensity, they would have won that game hands down. So it is, they only lost by 4, and they really weren't sharp at all in that ball game. Now Morgan Raish up. Foul ball, strike 1. Raish, well, it's been on base twice today after striking out looking in the first. She's had a single and reached on a fielder's choice. Man, Lee trying to keep it tied up, giving her team a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. Both teams have acquitted themselves very well today in the softball game. This is early season softball action. This has been a pretty polished game. Raish with a nice stroke right there. You'll go outside and follow that pitch off. There's 2 down and nobody on base for West Rutland. Pitch coming off the fist. That is a great defensive swing with 2 strikes, especially by such a young player. As they call time, they're retrieving some of these foul balls. That was picked up by Kachupi out there in right field, and they rolled the ball into her, and we are good to go now. So Lee looking for that 7th strikeout will miss. So again, she's had some good moments today, and then she's had some moments where she just wasn't in focus to the game. Got her. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Remember the chance to win it in their last at bat of regulation. Freshman in a pressure situation. She faced that in Proctor in the 7th inning of a 4-3 game at Proctor, against Proctor, at West Rutland. She was able to get 2 outs to end the ball game. And here she is in a tie ball game in the 7th, and she's going to be looking at Courtney Leeds, Sarah Brown, and Haley Kachupi. I have it unofficially as 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. So the walks haven't hurt her, but she hit 3 batters. And that, to me, that's the same thing as a base hit or a walk. Those are what hurt her. So Lee with a couple base hits today. Courtney Lee, the younger Lee, she's got a single and a double. She's also had 2 RBIs and scored a run. So as a freshman, she's made a major impact in his varsity ball game. Riopel does not want to walk the leadoff batter. Yeah, and that changes the whole dynamics of the strategy. And I'm not saying they'll do it, but in my opinion, if the leadoff batter gets on in the tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th via the walk, you've got to use the small ball. You're playing for the 1 run. That's all you're playing for. So the 3 ball, no strikeout. Riopel right there. That had some pop on it. She had good velocity on that pitch. And again, those clouds moving in, man. That's ball 4. That's what I had. Okay. So not the worst thing, but one of the things that was on your I don't want to do list. The 3rd walk puts the winning run down at first base And again, since they're starting her off from the left side, I think they're going to bunt. Oh no, they brought in a pinch hitter. Okay, so they've got Cornell batting in Brown's spot. I thought she was going to bat in Collins' spot. So Madison, Cornell. Now Cornell last year hit the ball very well. Just, she had some big hits in that 9-inning game against Windsor in the playoffs. Great pitch. Yeah, Cornell, or Riopel, the pitcher, she's done such a great job this ball game. You'd hate to see her lose it on control issues this late in the contest, considering that really has been a problem for her today, other than the 3 walks and 3 hit batters. So the winning run at first, I can't tell. I don't know if that's Pritchard. Okay. That's why they're saying Maddie, not Madison Cornell. It's Madison Pritchard. Now Pritchard has got some nasty power. In Saturday's practice that I came down with Coach Lee and watched his team, because even though I don't get paid and this is a hobby, I still do my homework. She was clearing the fence easily in batting practice. So they brought their secret weapon off the bench. Oh, great pitch by the freshman. That's a big out right there. Okay, it's not a done deal. This is Kachupi. But if you small ball, I know he likes to swing for the fences, and everybody can do what they want. I respect that. But you're playing for 1 run. No indication of a bunt there. Kachupi looking down to the third base to get the sign. Bania actually only in a few feet at the bag, and that's going to be that's a great job for Mill River right there. That means you don't need to bunt now. On the wild pitch, the runner will get to second base, and that eliminates any more chat about a bunt. It becomes a moot point now. I'm not sure what the word moot means, but I hear people use it like that. Base hit with the speed of Lee at second base would win the ball game 5-5, and that's going to get her to third. So, boy, I tell you, back-to-back wild pitches, and West Rutland on the verge of watching a great effort. Not go by the wayside because they can build off it, but a great effort turn into a loss here is the winning run at third base, Kachupi. And then I have it as Cornell on deck. But there is only the 1 out. And it has been the walk and then the back-to-back wild pitches to have put West Rutland in his pickle. Yeah, there's 1 out. Coach Dunches checking with the umpire at third base, and the umpire at third base checking with the home base umpire. There was a strikeout of Pritchard, and that's been the only out. I wouldn't do a baseball move, which would be just to walk Kachupi intentionally, and then try to get the double play. Because I'm looking, the other thing too, and this isn't crazy strategy. If you walk the bases loaded on purpose with Kachupi and Cornell, and then face for Dennis and try to either get a force out at home or a double play. But you got some tough batters: Kachupi, Cornell, Redennis, Hannon. They've all hit the ball. They've all hit the ball real well. So this is going to be win or loss with defense, being the pitcher. The pitcher, Riopel's either going to ring up a much-needed strikeout, which would be her 8th of the ball game, or somebody's going to make a great play defensively. What she's looking for is a strikeout, a pop-up on the infield, a shallow pop-up to the outfield that it won't be deep enough to score, a hard-hit ground ball a slow-hit ground ball, and the game's over. So Kachupi set. That's a long meeting in the circle. And that's a walk. Now, I don't know if I don't think that was on purpose, because that was kind of a hard pitch to handle. and they give up second base. Now, I don't agree with, I like what Mill River did, but I don't agree with that on West Rutland's part. Now I'm conceding it. You eliminate the conventional double play. And this, okay, I had it right. This is Cornell batting in Collins' spot. So 2 on, 1 down. Base hit wins it. Base hit or a wild pitch or pass ball will win it. So Riopel, who always in the 3 games I've watched been very composed for a freshman, staying composed here. There's a lot of pressure being a pitcher. Same pitch, this time she'll get a swinging strike from Cornell. Went out of the strike zone after that pitch, and that'll make it a 1-1 count. Bania in about 5 steps off the bag now at third base. And will that be caught? No, it's going to be outplayed. It's going to be strike 2, though. I like it, though. She's keeping the pitch outside right now. I would even take Dow and push her more toward that first baseline. But again, who in God's name am I to be doing all these tweakings out here? I'm a guy who's watched a lot of softball over 16 years. Big pitch coming up. 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. Tie ball game, bottom of the 7th. Oh, just did get a piece of it. If she could have rang up strikeout number 8 right there for the second out, man. That was a good pitch, and that was an excellent swing by Cornell, being defensive with the 2 strikes on her. I believe it's still a full count. I'm not sure what the count is, to be honest with you. I know she got 2 strikes. That's going to be out of play. Oh, and a good grab by one of the spectators. He's into the ball game. Tell you what, this is good. This is good softball action. This is as good as any baseball, or this is a good game. So Cornell making Riopel really work hard here. There it is. The winning run will come in. That's it. Mill River is going to win it on a wild pitch. It'll be a 6-5. Well, that should be the ball game. Everybody's still out there. Now, and it's a shame to see a game end like that, but you can tell you what, you got to give Cornell a ton of credit for staying alive at the plate with 2 strikes on her. A great job by both coaches, by both schools. And I mean, hockey not like that kind of action, and I'll have some more games from both of these schools, Mill River and West Rutland, as they're smart enough to realize let Munger Vision come and bring their sports to your community. So